Yep, so I'm gonna do everything with my eyeshadow brush today. Typically I use both brushes. I'll use the eyeshadow brush and I'll use my smudge brush. But today I'm just gonna do the eyeshadow brush because I wanna show you that you can do everything with just one brush. So I am going to start, I primed my eye already with my highlighter, my brightening highlight, and then I put a layer of this cupcake color on first. I like to do that to help set my cream, and I also like to do it to help bring out the pigmentation of the colors that I'm going to use. So like I said, I'm doing a very fall look today. So I am going to start with a color called Valencia that I don't use very often. You can see right here it has a little bit of an orangey brown tone to it, so that is what we are going to use. So I'm going to start with the fluffy end of that brush, and I'm just going to tap in here. Remember, our colors are extremely pigmented, so start light and build on. Make sure you tap off any additional excess on that. And I'm just going to take that Valencia color and I'm just going to start spreading it from side to side up in this top area above my crease bone. I'm sure that has a name for it, but one of these days I'll learn. But it is not going to be today. So today we're just going to call it the upper above bone area. Because who's an expert when they do this? Not me. I just do it because it's so much fun. And Fridays are payday Friday with us, so that was super fun to get that. I typically get that when I'm at the gym in the morning. It usually drops in the morning, so that's always a fun additional bonus. So I tapped in 2 more times. I just like to build this layer a little bit so you can see that it's getting a little bit more pigmentation color than what I had in this base layer. So you can see just a little bit of the differentiation right here. So this is Valencia. Again, taking that eyeshadow brush and just sweeping from side to side, just blending and blending. You can never over blend, all right? Nice and soft with the bristles. If you are somebody who does struggle with eyeshadow looks, a lot of times it really is the brushes. The brushes really make a big, huge difference. Even if you're not looking for a new makeup routine because you love what you have, but you do need some new brushes, our brushes are absolutely phenomenal. They're all dual-ended and they range anywhere from $24 to $36, and that's for a 2-ended brush. I know before I started with Saint, I used to just buy brushes and that would just be a one-sided brush and they'd be at least $40 to $50. So you really do get a great product with the brushes in itself. And then we have the awesome brush cleaner that's a dry spray. So I'm going to switch to a color that's a little bit deeper than this Valencia here. It's called Leo. It still has an orange tone to it. Orange and pinky tones are really great for blue eyes. They are great for all eyes, brown eyes too, but they really make blue eyes pop. So I'm going to stick with that same fluffy brush and I am going to switch to that Leo color. Again, tapping off any additional excess, and I'm going to start building that Leo color right in my crease area here. You can see it's a little bit darker than that Valencia color. But the way that you're gonna change that color to whatever your desired look is by more application. So if you want a little bit deeper, go a little deeper. And you can tell this is only the second time of the layer that I put on over the top of the Valencia, and it's really creating a really nice depth of color in this crease. Now you can see that I'm holding my brush at this edge right here. Very important when you're doing your eyeshadow looks to have a really nice free flow of the hand, because the closer you choke up on that bristle, the harder, the denser that look is going to be. When you're really just looking right now, at least, for a nice soft look. So we're just blending that Leo in the crease area from corner to corner, inner to outer, very gently building till we have the look that we like, okay? So next I'm going to switch to a color called Holly. Holly is a color that just released in our new releases yesterday. It has a really nice dark burnt, it's almost like a brick red color to it. So I'm going to still stick with that fluffy end of my brush here, and I'm just going to tap in right here, tap off any additional, and I'm just going to start in this corner, and I'm just going to start swirling small little circles on this outer edge right here of this Holly color, okay? I'm going to start swirling up towards my bone just a little bit. Now, since I did the one eye already, you can use that as a guidance point of how high you go. You always want to have a nice even eye. Nobody's eyes are even, so you have to keep an eye out for what you're doing, right? We don't want to have red all the way up here when it doesn't go as high on that side. So kind of keep your brush in line with this and kind of just go from that point here. And if you can, try to do it with your eyes open as much as you can. Now bringing that holly color into the crease just to deepen that crease, just that little tiny bit. So softening that edge here. I can see that I need a little bit on this edge right here, so I'm just gonna tap right here, and then I'm just gonna slowly blend up to the top. Now I am somebody who doesn't always like a light eye. I very rarely do kind of a neutral eye. I like to have super dramatic eyes. I think that my eyes are probably one of my best features of myself. I really love my eyes, so I like to play them up. So I've really taken the time to watch other people's videos and YouTube just to see how I can get these eyeshadows down, and really practice makes permanent. So I am by no means an expert. This is just what I find works for me, and every time I do eyeshadow looks, I feel like I pick up a new tip or a new tool. So don't ever feel overwhelmed by eyeshadows like you'll never get it, because you really will. It's just something, there is no right or wrong. It's just something fun to play with. So now I'm going to switch to a color called Foxy. Foxy has a gold tone to it. You can see that right here. It has a nice shimmer to it right here. So I'm going to just use my finger with this Foxy color, and I'm going to tap in here, and I'm just going to start swiping on this bottom lid here. If you don't have a dense brush, which actually helps with application of shimmer colors, to have them be a little bit more dense, you can use your finger all the time. You can apply all your eyeshadow with your finger if you want, but you can see I'm just tapping back and forth on that lid until I have the desired look that I'm going for. One more, because everybody wants to shimmer and shine, right? So then I'm just going to take a little bit of that Foxy, and I'm going to put it up at the arch underneath my brow here, just to kind of tie everything together. And then I'm going to go in with that fluffy end of this brush here, and I'm just going to meld all my look together in this crease area right here, and then just kind of blend a little bit up on the top area right here. So now you can see that I do have a little bit of an eyeliner look. However, I am not wearing any eyeliner. I am not somebody who really loves eyeliner. I feel like it makes my eyes look super closed and dark, and I like them to look more open. So I use the shadows that I currently use on my eyelid. So I'm going to switch over to the small end of this brush. This is our detail end, and I'm going to tap into the Leo first. So I'm going to go with Leo, and I'm going to tap off additional excess, and I'm going to go right underneath my eye like this. Now you can see I hardly have to move my hand. The bristles are doing all the work. They're very soft. They're not tearing any of that sensitive skin underneath my eyes, but it's depositing that color right underneath my lash line. Now to deepen it a little bit, I'm going to go back into that holly color, and I am going to tap the very edge of that as well. Tap off any additional, and I'm going to go underneath with my holly color as well under here, and creating that depth until they look the same. Now sometimes when you use eyeshadow underneath your eyes, you do have to connect. You can see in this area right here, you can see a little bit of a space that you cannot see on this side here. So you always want to take that smaller of that detailed brush, take whichever color you prefer. Because I like to have a little bit of a darker edge, I am going to tap it into my darker color, which was my holly, just very lightly. And I'm going to take that brush, and I'm just going to stamp on this outer corner right here until these are connected like so. So then you can alleviate that gap that's right there, and then just soften that look just a little tiny bit with that edge of the fluffy end. So that was my very simple fall 4-color look. And now I'm just going to finish it off with mascara. Favorite one is Thrive. You can use whatever mascara you want. I wore false lashes for a while. I got those extensions done. I've had them off now for probably all summer, and the stupidest reason why is because when we were boating, it drove me bonkers when they were blowing in the wind. Isn't that just really super silly? But it's the truth, and that's why I stopped wearing them. So maybe this winter I'll put them back on, because I really did love them. But for now, I'm really happy with how my eyelashes grew back, and I don't know if I want to damage them again. So I'm just going to use this Thrive mascara and build until I have nice full lashes, a little bit on the bottom, and we are good to go. So I'll use Heat Waves on my lips, because ever since Heat Waves came out and I saw somebody use it on their lips, I've been absolutely borderline obsessed with it because it is so gorgeous. I also used it as my bronzer today, and then I switched it up a little bit. I put Royal on my cheek. I used Georgia, which is gold illuminator, which is a powder, so it gives a little bit more of a dense look than what our creams do. I use the cream down the center of my nose, and I'm all set to go to work tonight. So I threw on some gold hoops, throwing it back to the 90s. Is that the 90s? I don't even know. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial for your eyeshadow look. If you have any questions about color combinations or placement of shadows on your eyes, if you are not familiar with what your eye shapes are and need help with that, please always feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Heidi. I used Valencia, I used Holly, I used Leo, and I used Foxy today. So that is my fall-inspired eyeshadow look on an 80-some degree day here in Wisconsin, if you live in Wisconsin. So I sat out in the sun all morning, and now we're getting ready for work. So have a blessed evening. Thank you for taking the time to sit and watch this video with me. Like I said, if you ever have any questions about anything that Saint offers, artist program, makeup, brushes, anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always going to give you my honest opinion about everything, and this is really just about knowledge for you all. Have a great day.